Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name's Johan, and my channel is called Make It an Amazing Day. Make it. It's your choice. It's your decision what kind of day you're going to have. Chosen ones, spiritually awake, God-conscious people. Why are we going it alone? Let's break it down. We have patience. We have tolerance. We have the gifts of discernment and intuition. We follow daily rituals and routines that include prayer, meditation, self-examination, self-inquiry. We follow different spiritual paths and different spiritual ways. You may follow a religion, its doctrines and tenets. You may call yourself a Buddhist. You may apply principles from Sufism. You may apply principles from the Stoics. You may apply principles from the Tao. You may apply principles from Confucianism? I'm not sure exactly how you state that. But you get the gist of what I'm talking about. You live to the best of your ability every day, applying spiritual principles to your life because they improve your quality of life. Speaking of improving my quality of life, I put the cigarettes down. And I'm vaping. Well, let me say this. I could just make videos and not vape or not smoke in front of you like I did and give you this impression of me. That doesn't make it right, but I'm up front, so I'm doing the vape now. I don't get the flavors. There's less nicotine in here, but it's still dangerous. Anyway, chosen ones, spiritually awake, God-conscious people. Why do we prefer solitude all the time or most of the time? What is happening around us that affects us? And it's more than the mind, it's the heart and the soul as well. We have had spiritual awakenings. We have had psychic changes. We have had profound personality changes so that we aren't the same people we were 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Maybe we're not even the same people we were yesterday. We've learned some lessons. We've become more mature spiritually speaking as a result of practicing spiritual principles. Our attitude and outlook on life has changed. It's not that we don't have a sense of humor. It's not that we don't like to have fun, because we do have a sense of humor. We do like to have fun. Key point, we are not interested in having useless or meaningless. We are not interested in having useless and meaningless conversations with people. This may offend you. We're not most of the time or all the time, maybe some of the time, interested in small talk. Our focus, chosen ones, our focus spiritually awakened ones, our focus, God conscious ones, are in different places than those who do not follow a spiritual path. I was attending meetings that a specific society had, and in one of the books it said, love and tolerance of others is our code. Love and tolerance of others is our code. And if you're not spiritually awake, if you don't have the gift of intuition, if you don't have the gift of discernment, it's easy to misinterpret love and tolerance of others is our code. Speaking directly to people that are involved in a 12-step group, that quote, love and tolerance of others is our code, is about newcomers. Those that want to quit drinking, those that want to stop, those that aren't sure why they drink in the first place. They don't understand the disease concept, they don't understand the allergy concept, and they don't understand what I talk about here. This is where they get their dopamine hit from, their stimulation from. They may come to a meeting and sit there and start challenging you. I've seen people, I've been at meetings where people were told to shut up and sit down. I've seen people that came in intoxicated and were asked to leave. I'm not talking about the ones that were disrupting the meetings, I'm talking about the ones that were just intoxicated, not with it. The perfect opportunity to forego all the group rules and regulations and tell that intoxicated person, present to them what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. If you could relay that information in a way that they understand. But on page 64 of the big book it says, make sure your own house is in order, because you obviously cannot transmit something you don't have. Spiritually speaking as well, chosen ones, spiritually awake, God-conscious people have something that other people don't. They've had this life-altering change, reborn. The spiritual awakening, the psychic change, the personality change, profound personality change. We've had it. Our focus is on different things. It's not, and speaking for myself alone, it's not that I can't have a conversation with you about other things other than spiritual life. However, albeit nonetheless, I'm not up for useless, meaningless, argumentative conversations about topics that have nothing to do with improving my quality of life every day. I'm just not interested in it anymore. What's important to me today is, and I've mentioned this, as a result of studying all those spiritual paths and religions, doctrines, tenets, Catholicism, Christian teachings, solely the teachings of Jesus, teachings from Sufi masters, teachings from masters in Buddhism, teachings from the Tao, teachings from the Stoics, the teachings of Confucius, Hindu teachings. Now you may follow one path, and that's okay, nothing wrong with that. Out of all those teachings, I developed 3 principles that I follow every day. 3 principles. 1, from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed, to not hurt anyone with my words or deeds. 2, to not engage in destructive or useless activities, including conversations. And 3, to make a great effort not to put anything into my system that affects my faculties, body and mind, in a negative way. I don't make an excuse for this. I fall short. I'm working on it. So these 3 principles: not hurt anyone from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed with my words or deeds. 2, not engage in destructive or useless activities. 3, make a great effort not to put anything into my system that affects it in a negative way. That's my aim every day. That's my goal, one day at a time, from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. It's not that hard. Chosen ones, spiritually awake people, God-conscious people are all about learning lessons in life, correcting mistakes, improving our character, not just for us, not just for us. I believe in a butterfly effect. It's not just negative things that have a ripple effect. It's also positive things that have a ripple effect. And so chosen ones, spiritually awake people, God-conscious people, are about being the best person they could possibly be. If you're a newcomer to spirituality, and I mentioned this before, if you're not sure what it is, Google spiritual paths, Google spiritual ways, Google spiritual principles, Google the Stoics. So if you're a newcomer to spirituality, just like those newcomers to an AA meeting, I will tolerate, I will take into consideration where you're at. I will not take things personal that you say, because I was there at one time. I can relate. But totally disrespectful people, abusive people, narcissists, that type, that control conversations, the know-it-alls, the ones that like to have debates over useless things, I don't have to tolerate it. I do not. Again, I'm talking about people that have no interest in a spiritual way of life, that have no interest in what they do and how it affects other people, who don't want to grow up, mature, in other words. But I will always be there for them. It's okay, Ace. I will always be there for them. But I'm not going to be a doormat for verbal and emotional abuse. Been there, done that. Chosen ones, the spiritually awake, God-conscious people are kind people. For the most part, we're human. We're human. Here's the difference. We make mistakes, but we don't use that as an excuse to make more mistakes. We've overcome tragedies. We've overcome obstacles. We've healed. From past experiences. And in a way, what we have now, the calm mind, a good heart, happy heart, generous soul, we're going to protect it. We're going to protect it and be careful as well to not get sucked into negative, disruptive, destructive ways of non-spiritual people. And I say that because the people you associate with, the people you hang around with, there's a saying, show me who you hang around with and I'll tell you who you are. Or show me who you hang around with and I'll tell you what your future is. It's easy to get caught up in the tomfoolery. Look that one up, tomfoolery. It's easy to get caught up in the tomfoolery. I don't want to go backwards. I want to move ahead. And if today I just stay where I was at yesterday, that's okay too. But go back? No. This is my church here in nature. I become a different person when I get into the woods, into the mountains. I become a different person when I go into silence, meditation. There's something in my DNA that this becomes real. It's real to me. And it's not just real, it's profitable. I hear that cardinal chirping in the background. I hear the other cardinal answering. The breeze blowing through the leaves. The creek behind me. Cars passing. This is where I get a dopamine hit. This is what stimulates me. One of the things. And activities that aren't destructive or useless. I get a dopamine hit from them. A stimulation from them. At the end of the day, when I look back and do that survey and say, I did not hurt anyone by my words or deeds, I get a dopamine hit. I'm stimulated by that. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm trying to improve my life all the time, to have a better quality of life. I don't drink anymore. I don't use illegal drugs. And there's a whole list of things I don't do anymore that I used to. But I know how to have fun. In closing, I want to say this about the majority of chosen ones, the majority of spiritually awake people, the majority of God-conscious people. We don't feel superior to other people that don't walk our walk. We're not, most of us, in judgment of other people that don't walk our walk. We are open to helping you improve your quality of life based on what we have, teachings, ancient teachings from the masters that we applied to our life. The ones that worked, we keep. The ones that didn't work, we cast aside. But we're not better than you. We're not. We don't feel superior to you. We don't. We don't hold you in contempt. We don't. I've had to let go of a lot of people, places, and things. I've had to let go of a lot of people, places, and things over the decade, over the past few decades, for various reasons. Sometimes it's hard to let go of people. It's also hard to let go of places that I used to go that I have no business going there today. And it's difficult to let go of things that I have no business being involved or engaged in. Those three principles, let me go back to them, and that's it for this video. At the end of the day, when I look back, did I hurt someone with my words or deeds? No. Was I engaged, involved in destructive activity or useless activity? No. Did I put anything into my system that affects it in a negative way? I need to do something about this. And I'm making an honest effort. However, albeit nonetheless, I sleep in good conscience. When I can say I've done those three principles to the best of my ability, and where I fell short, I need to examine it and make improvements, I can sleep in good conscience. And the difference between me and other people is the ones that aren't the chosen ones, the ones that aren't spiritually awake, the ones that aren't God conscious. When I wake up in the morning, I have a clear mind. I'm not thinking about what did I do yesterday because I was drunk or on dope. I'm not thinking about a big argument I had with somebody and now I need to get back at them. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about, well, today, maybe I need to join this group or put a video on Facebook that I was volunteering or that I did something for somebody so it makes me look good. We don't think about those things. Make it an amazing day. Make it. It's your choice. It's your decision what kind of day you're going to have. And not just that, make it an amazing life. It's your choice. It's your decision what kind of life you're going to have. So make it a good one. Until the next video, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Consider liking the video. Consider subscribing. Consider sharing my teachings. Until the next video, peace.